A young girl, and I'm closing, she was a gymnast. Is that what you call them? And she had been trained to focus on how her landing will be before she take off. And she usually see a perfect landing, then she take off and she get it. So, but then she had an accident and she was paralyzed from her neck down. So she in the hospital, a young girl, she was about 6 weeks or so to her prime. And so the two doctors came in. Her parents are there. And they told her, we have good news and bad news. The good news, the bad news is, the good news is your left hand will revive. But the bad news is the rest of your body will not. So she wanted to know, why is that a good news? They said, well, at least you have your hand to control whether the wheelchair, wherever it is you want to control. They begin to give her all the scientific reason why that would be the case. And while they were in the midst of their explanation, she says, please, 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 keep quiet. Get out. Get out. My prom is in 6 weeks. And I've already bought my dress. And I'm going to attend the prom. So please get out. The doctors went out. For the rest of that young lady's life, she began to heal herself with her mind. Remember, this is not an easy thing to do because we are falling so far from grace, from our original status. This young girl had been trained from the time she was 5 years old, 3 years old, to be a gymnast. So she had been trained to focus and to meditate. And every day, 2-3 times a day, sometimes more, she began to not see herself in this deformed body. She began to envision a vibrant, strong, healthy body. And she began to see herself walking down the aisle on prom day in her dress. She began to envision it that it became so real to her. In 2.5 weeks, she was learning to walk. In 6 weeks, she was in her prom dress. True story, and the doctors were shocked. How did she do this? Because the healing, I told you, was not in that woman. The healing was not in Jesus, it was in the woman. The power was in her. We had drifted so far from our original creation. So far from our original creation. So we don't even know how to connect anymore. My message to you here today and those of you online, it's not too late. You need to start practicing how to meditate upon God's word. Read it, apply it to your life. And if you've never done it before, as I can tell you, as I started doing this in my mind, it's all over the place. All over the place. I think I'll give the illustration to those of you who heard me before. A nail has magnetic properties in it. But all those magnetic properties, the negative and positive, are shooting in every direction that they cancel out each other's power. But when you take that nail and attach it to a magnet, the magnet forces every property in the nail to focus in the appropriate direction. So the negative go a different way and the positive go a different way, and the nail becomes a temporal magnet. So when you take that same nail while it's on the magnet, you put it on a paper clip, it will magnetize the paper clip. And then you remove the magnet from there. After a while, it will hold it for a while, and then the paper clip will drop. The nail return to itself. You and I, were created with divinity, with divine properties in us. But because of the devil, those divine properties are no longer focused and concentrated in a powerful way to make things happen. And that's what Jesus came to teach us. That's what Jesus said, if you believe me, the works that I do, not only will you do it, but you will do greater work